Investment challenge day 12, and this month is just blasting through. It's almost halfway through and I am 3 stocks in. So today's topics, we're going to talk some books, some book recommendations, and we're going to talk 2 stocks real fast. And I've been getting questions on what books do I like, and I divided this into 3 different topics. And management, I like this book right here, the Warren Buffett Management Secrets, and it's mostly about, of course it's a story about Warren Buffett and how he built the empire he has today. But what I find interesting with it is the way that he speaks about motivating people, building the right team around you, how he chooses the CEO of his companies, and more or less how he likes the companies built from the ground up. So that's a really good management book. Investing, I like this book right here, The Most Important Thing, and even if the title is Thing, it's actually things. So I think it's about 20 advice that the author feels that this is the most important thing that you need to focus on when you do investments. It's very much based on risk assessments, like how much risk will be involved in this, is it worth if you look at the risk reward aspect of it, and really good overview this book gives you. And when it comes to trading, and I mean day trading is really short term, I really like Mike Bellafiore, and there's 2 books. The first one is One Good Trade, and the sequel to this one being The Playbook. And they describe the strategy that I use now when I trade to look at the fundamentals, look what news do we have in the reports, what's going on in this company, what's going on with other companies like this company, try to find different levels in the stock, in the price that might be important, and then from there analyze the order book. Is it filling up, is it emptying, and see what's going on with stock, and have a really good set plan for how you should trade. If it hits this level, within 10 minutes, am I adding, am I selling, what am I doing? So basically a really good strategy and a plan for how you're supposed to trade. So 2 kind of big books, but well worth reading. As of stocks for today, I'm going to start with the Lucara Diamond. They look for diamonds mostly in Africa, and they have a couple of diamond mines that are more important than others, like AK6 or Mat.se. And the all-time high of this stock is 28 kroner, and that's not too long ago, and today it's trading about 22 to 23 kroner. Looking at the numbers, Q3 was actually less than 2015, but the reason for this is that 2015 Q3 they sold a couple of really big diamonds, and that makes this quarter really out of proportion big, more or less. 2016 they sold diamonds for 232 million, and they projected the 200 to 220 range, so a little more than what they expected. They have found very many big diamonds. They found the second largest diamond in the world, the 1111 carat, with valuation when it went into auction it was valued at 70 million euros. And then they also sold one kind of recently, 813 carats, for 63 million euros. And what I found interesting with this when I read the report, I said I didn't focus too much on the numbers because it's very misleading when there's a company that finds these enormous diamonds. The processing fees are going down. They're actually lowering it by about 10% to the amount of search they can do for per dollar is cheaper now than it was before. And if you're a company looking for diamonds, that I feel is the most important thing to look at. So the case here, Lucara, they seem to find big diamonds all the time, like among the biggest diamonds in the world, and they find them regularly. So they're looking at the right place, they're looking with the right tools, they're doing the right thing. And if you are a company looking for diamonds, that must be the most important thing, that you actually find big diamonds, and they are. The risk, this kind of recent news, that the extra Botswana, they are doing some of the mining in one of the mines, or a lot of the mining, like the drilling and the blowing up stuff, and they're going to rip this agreement apart, and this is going to be a trouble for them, but we don't know to what extent. And Lucara, they say that this is no problem at all, we have a lot of other places to go, but this was a good place for them to look, so it isn't as good as they try to make it seem. And that's what you can see here as well. The recent drops here is probably because of this, because people say that they could run out of places to look, but I don't think that's the case, but we haven't seen the end of this story yet. So this is a potential buy for me, but I would like to hear some more from them before I buy. But I feel they're so successful at what they do, they find big diamonds all the time, that the value of this company should raise. And even if it has pretty much doubled in not too long period of time, I still think there's more to find here. And then we have the Mat.se, or Mat.se, a Swedish food delivery site, and they have some other aspects of the company as well, recipes and such, but I feel that the food delivery is the what they do. And it recently went from 8 kroner to 12 kroner, so it's a really big jump. And the reason for this is a rumor about an offer, or they say that we have more or less have an offer for this company. So someone wants to buy a big part of the company for a premium, so they want to pay more than the probable stock price at 8. The problem with buying like this is when you do not tell what the offer is, how much is it. If you know that it's 12 kroner, then yeah, of course the stock should go up to 12 kroner, because that's what you will get when it's sold. But when you don't know how big the offer is, we don't know if it's 9 kroner, or if it's 10 kroner, or if it's 15 kroner. It's really hard to say what's the fair price of this stock right now. And also, when this happens, so we say that we get an offer for 12 kroner, and you ride along up to 12 kroner, then it's, in my opinion, no reason whatsoever to keep this, because it's already priced in that it's going to be sold at 12 kroners. So the only thing that can happen is this bid will be retracted, or the deal will fail for some reason, and then the stock goes down again. So when the stock hits the price, in my opinion, there's no reason to be left in there, and if there's no target price at all, don't even start it. So the only time I trade these kind of setups is if I'm one of the first people in, if I'm one of the first people to read the news and buy before it starts just skyrocketing, because that always happens. So if I find one of these rumors, and I will be one of the first people in, that's perfect. But if it goes up, I'm probably staying out of it, because there's mostly disappointment on the horizon for these kind of things. So that's it for today, and this the last analysis is not just Mat.se, it's all companies with an offer, more or less. So that's it for today. Thank you very much.